everybody, I'm Leanne DeGold from Wildwood, Missouri, and we are back for the entree week of the Real Women of Philadelphia Challenge. And this week I am making a fabulous pancetta pasta. Now, what we should do first is probably make our homemade pasta. Are you kidding me? I'm a real woman who actually has a husband and 2 children, and I work. I do not have time to make my own pasta. But this is a fabulous, simple recipe that you can put together for your family in just a moment's time. So I hope you enjoy my pancetta pasta. Okay, of course, what makes our pancetta pasta so easy to make is our fabulous Philadelphia cream cheese. It is so creamy that it's going to add the cream that we need to make our pasta so smooth and sweet in the end, because we're going to have some actually very salty things that we're going to make this out of. Now, if you're not familiar with pancetta, it is like a Italian bacon. It's kind of cured and it's just awesome flavor. So what we're going to do first is actually take out about 4 ounces of pancetta, and you see they come in actually circular shapes, or at least mine does. And all we need to do is we're just going to go through and cut this in strips, because what we'll do first, we don't want really small strips, but you know, any size will do. Okay, so when I'm boiling my pasta, I like to add in just a little bit of salt to my boiling water. And then we're going to take our favorite penne pasta. You could use any shape, but I really like the penne pasta. Kind of gives you the chunk, the size that we need, because we're actually going to add asparagus in there, and I think they're all kind of work well together. But you don't actually even need the whole box. You can use about 3/4 of the box. Get that going. Now, read your box and see how long it takes to cook. This one says about 11 minutes. But we don't want to take it all the way to the 11 minutes. We're going to stop somewhere about 8, because it's going to finish cooking up a little bit when we add it to our warm cream sauce. So we'll get that boiling, and let's go ahead and set our timer so I don't forget. Alrighty, and now I have a warm pan here, and we're going to go ahead and add in our pancetta that I've sliced up, and we're going to just go ahead and get this all fried up. Whoops. My goodness, I'm dropping everything today. Alrighty. Get that in the pan. And once we get this all nice and, not real hard and crispy, but well cooked, we're going to set it aside on a paper towel and reserve the drippings, because we're going to use that with our flavoring. And just to let you know some of our other tasty things that are going to go into this, I have toasted up about a very generous 1/4 cup of pine nuts. And I like to go ahead and toast those over medium heat, because I just think it brings out the flavor in there. And a great tablespoon of capers. I love capers, so I would probably add a little bit more, but just up to your family. Of course, we don't want to forget some sun-dried tomatoes. And I buy the kind that are already julienne cut. And of course, we're going to add in some Asiago cheese and our cream cheese and a little olive oil. And then, of course, let's not forget some fresh basil for some great flavoring. So check out my pancetta. Does that look awesome? Just bring it over, and we're going to let it drain on a paper towel. Pasta has been boiling for about 8 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and remove that from the heat and go ahead and drain it. I've got about 8 to 12 stalks of asparagus, and I do like to try and find the skinnier ones. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this on the diagonal, because you don't want the pieces to be overly huge, but you also don't want it to be too terribly small. So what we're going to do is actually put it into some boiling water, and we want it to cook up to get a bright green color, but actually you don't want to overcook it, because we really do not want it to be soft. We want it to stay nice and firm and have a bright green color and have that little crispness to it. So we're going to put those into our pot. And now I have some fresh basil that I'm just going to cut up to put into our pasta. And I really love using the fresh basil, because it has such a savory smell. I really encourage you to go ahead and get the fresh basil. But if you don't have it, just use whatever you have in your spice rack. But we're going to continue on with creating our pasta sauce. So check this out. I have removed most of the oil out of my pan from making up the pancetta, and we are going to take about 6 ounces of the Philadelphia cream cheese. Get that in there. And you want this on a low heat because you want it to just melt smoothly. To that, I'm going to go ahead and add probably about a tablespoon of olive oil, because I think you really can't have pasta without some olive oil in it. And we're just going to get this rolling. And then once this cheese softens up, we're going to start adding in all of our delicious things. And the great thing about making this type of pasta is that you can use whatever you have in your pantry. If you don't have capers, you know, you can throw in some olives. If you don't have asparagus, you can throw in some broccoli. So all kinds of great things, but I always say it is so much more fun and enjoyable to have a dinner at home with your family than to go out. And my family just really enjoys having pasta, but what's not to love about pasta? Okay, I get so excited about my cream cheese that I jumped the gun and I forgot to put in my cloves of garlic. So I got about 2 cloves of garlic. Never for fear, we can always add it now. And just go ahead and add that into your mixture. Okay, so I've placed my pasta back into my pot I should say. And let's get all of our creamy sauce in here. Now, go ahead and start tossing that up, because we really want the cheesy, creamy mixture to get all over our noodles before we start adding in all of our other ingredients. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. To our pasta mixture has our wonderful cream cheese, sun-dried tomato mixture. We're going to add in our cooked asparagus and our pancetta. This is another thing. If you don't have pancetta, you could use any Italian sausage or bacon, or you could even add some grilled chicken if you had some leftover grilled chicken. You can pretty much do anything with this dish. Now let's add in our toasted pine nuts and our yummy capers. And that caper is actually going to add a little bit of juice to your pasta also. So, oh my goodness, this is so yummy. I can't wait for you to try it. So we're adding in our basil. And it's okay for it to go ahead and be in those long strips. And this, when the heat from the pasta gets to it, it's going to relax those leaves, and it's just going to be fabulous. The smell of the fresh basil is just incredible. Add in a little bit more ground pepper. And you really don't need to add any other salt because you have the capers and the bacon and everything, so you're going to have plenty of salt. But the great thing is, even though you have a lot of salt in here, the cream cheese actually makes everything mellow out and not be too overpowering. And I love the fact that it has pine nuts in there because it gives you a little crunch when you're eating your pasta. One of our last steps is adding in some fresh shredded Asiago cheese. I love the flavor of this. So just sprinkle that on in. You know, you can go as heavy as you like. About half a cup, I would say, is great. To me, you can never have too much cheese. So we're going to finish tossing this, and then we're going to plate this up and show you just how quick and fabulous and wonderful pasta dinner can be for you and your family. Okay, everybody, I have placed my wonderful pasta, pancetta pasta, out on my serving dish. And what I like to do after I've served it on the plates is I like to go ahead and kind of shave on some Parmesan cheese, just a few layers. So we've got some fresh Parmesan on top. Okay, and then actually I just sprinkle on a little bit of fresh parsley right on top. And now you have my wonderful pancetta pasta. Now, again, this recipe could not be possible without our friends from Kraft with our Philadelphia cream cheese. So check this out, because I'm telling you, this is a pasta dish. I encourage you to try this recipe with your family tonight. Enjoy!